Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome to the East-West Show, Jack Zhao on the East-West Show with G&E TV. Every Wednesday, we do our weekly update. This past week, though, had been a little relatively quieter. Well, not that much things to talk about. Well, that doesn't mean California take a respite. But California never takes a respite. You're making things funny and funnier and funnier and then funnier by every single day, right? Today, join me in sharing the jokes with my audience about California crazy laws, the crazy or hilarious or joking laws is my good friend, Mr. Ken Hemming, lover to the community, a man of Constitution, who upholds what he believes is right. So, welcome, sir, to the show.
Jack, I'm happy to start the greatest hour of my week every week with you and your viewers. Thank you for letting me be here.
Very good. Thank you for starting your week that way.
No, this is a highlight of my week.
All right, good. And to lots of my audiences, they say watching my show is the highlight of the day.
I hope so.
Yeah, and then lots of people say that because according to them, that we make sense.
Well, you know, your brain is so strong, and your vision for how to communicate, you know, your thoughts and your value system with your viewers is marvelous, and I recommend everybody look at you and listen to you.
I myself, as a matter of fact, is only an instrument, right?
That's right.
We owe the appreciation and thanks to my great team.
Absolutely.
I really have a great team. All you see is whatever this little person from the camera, but behind me, behind the scene, there are lots of members who are nameless, who are faceless. They work every day, every hour of the day to make this screen
make it
fulfilled,
possible.
Make whatever possible. That said, let's give them a big hand.
Yeah, media is a team sport.
Yeah.
And there you have a beautiful team.
And also thank you for the leadership by Mr. James So.
Absolutely.
Who gives always the right direction.
Yeah.
And there was one incident I remember, which was about the seminar of talking about crazy laws of California.
Okay, yeah.
That EDI sponsored. Mr. James Su made the following statement. It's not exactly his own wording.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the essence of it.
Yes.
He says normally media does not take a stand.
Okay, right.
However, when it comes to black and white,
right,
we do have to take a stand because in my eye, we want to be a responsible media.
Absolutely, right. You want to report the truth, but...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So once again, today we want to play responsible media.
Yes, sir. We do our best.
Sharing with you about crazy laws of California. So, of course, by sharing the crazy laws, you could probably not help laughing moment to moment. But behind the laughing, though, we really want to ask a question. Why would people, legislators, create such law? They have to have a ground, right?
Yeah.
They have to have a logic. What laws do you have that will make us laugh, please?
Well, a lot of these are laws that are local to certain cities, okay? Mm-hmm. And it's actually quite amazing
Excuse me.
If you think that some of these things we'll mention today actually do exist. Mm-hmm. Because it makes no common sense, it has no value as a law, and yet it's in writing, and I don't know how many are enforced. However, in Chico, California, it is against the law to bowl on a sidewalk. You know what it means. Now, you know what a bowling alley is,
yeah, you
okay?
mean bowling, right?
Yeah, so it must mean somebody did that sometime, and maybe it ran over a little baby carriage or something, okay? But that we can't conceive of anything ever being done like that, but it came from, the genesis of this came from someplace that must have had an activity. And then how they let it continue to be in existence rather than just repeal a ridiculous law
I just don't understand it. All right?
Yeah.
So your laws are talking about majorities, right?
Yeah,
Laws,
they have to be paid.
laws are
Passed.
talking about majority,
Right.
right? So, for example, when you go to office, majority, about 99.99999% of the people will wear something,
Yeah, we'll conform. Yeah, in a way.
will wear something,
Yeah.
will cover the naked body,
Right.
right? So does that mean that we can say, we can create a law that once you come to work, you must not go naked?
Well, later on in here, you'll see something along those lines too.
Yeah.
It's really quite amazing.
I am really talking about logic.
Yeah.
You have to, as a legislature of a state, great state of California, you're supposed to have some brain functioning group of people to make laws that make sense, right? Once upon a time, in 1,000 years, there was one guy who started bowling on a walkway.
Uh-huh.
All right?
Yeah.
On a pedestrian walkway.
Yeah.
Pavement, walkway, whatsoever. Yeah. That's 0.00001% of it.
Right.
So you motivate the whole legislature to put it in writing, black and white, a law.
Right.
Going a process, whole process of writing a bill,
Yeah.
having it voted.
Voting on, yeah, right.
Voting again.
Right.
The two houses voting back and forth.
Yeah.
And send it to governor's desk, and governor has to take at least 1 minute to sit down to sign it.
Yeah.
Go make it into law, going in the process at the cost of the voters' money
That's true.
to make a law that make this little sense.
Right. That makes no common practical reason for it to exist.
To the common sense,
Right.
this is a joke, right? Am I right?
You know, both even at the national level, Jack, there's some things that go pass through Congress. I mean, like, $3 million or something to watch the development of the left wing of a fly, to see if it flies in circles and such. I mean, they do things that are absolutely insane, okay? For some of these many things that cost a lot of money, they study things that are not worth the time.
I want to make it clear to my audience is that at this position as a show host, I do want to say that I do not go against the legal system.
No, we don't, of
I
course.
am talking about as a healthy legal system, you have to have laws that at least make some sense. I mean, common sense.
Right.
Most of the time, common sense.
Right.
Like I said, even if once upon a time, within 1,000 years whatsoever, somebody would go to work naked, right? That doesn't mean that you can make a law. You can motivate the whole thing by using voters' money, taxpayers' money, to create a law, say it is forbidden, it is illegal to go work naked.
It mentions a trumpet.
All right, okay.
And that's pretty crazy.
So some of the stores, they might do so. They might have done so already.
Yeah.
So they play not the musical drum, the trumpet.
Yeah.
Talking about the
They're making some
that
other
kind
noise.
of thing. Those toy trumpet, that kind of thing, make some kind of noise to draw attention.
Right, to the location.
To lure you to the
lure them in.
commercial activity whatsoever.
Right.
Right. That could make some sense.
Now, one thing, what you see nowadays, I just thought about this right now, out in front of like, I'm a CPA, we do taxes or something, or laundries or something. They got kids out there swinging these signs around, which is really pollution, visual pollution. And I don't think that ought to be allowed. Now, maybe it's freedom of speech. I don't know.
Jokingly, there's a logic in there, right? Okay. Now, if you sell a bunch of flowers like a bouquets by the side of the road, though, that somehow makes some sense.
Yeah.
While waiting for a traffic light, they'll stick some bill out and they get a bunch of flowers for $5, $10. That makes some sense, right?
For one thing, I bet my life that there's been a guy on a corner with one of those signs. They're flipping around, and some car ran into another car because he's visually distracted.
Exactly. What doesn't make sense to me is that somebody flipping around a little air thing that says insurance.
Yeah, right.
Car insurance.
Exactly. Causes a car wreck.
Right. You're talking about momentum.
Yeah.
Nobody is kind of buying an insurance in the momentum.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Not
you
a-
say
yeah.
a big house or an open house or someone.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody buys a house in the momentum. I buy 2 of them. Okay,
Yeah.
let's buy 5 pounds of houses.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Right.
So those are hilarious though.
Yeah. But I can see this because really your eyes are distracted
Yes.
when there's someone's flipping those
You
signs
are.
around,
Yes.
and you have to be a little more careful.
Very good.
Anyway,
My dear
that's
friends,
cool.
let's take a very short moment out. Today with me is my dear friend Ken Hemming, and we're sharing with you some of the Californian most hilarious laws, and about the majority, big majority of which do not make sense. Stay with
right.
us. Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome to the show, Jack Chow on the East West Show with JNE TV, with my friend Ken Hemming. We're sharing some jokes of California laws. When we say jokes, I believe that we're not exaggerating.
Right.
I mean, by some
not.
extent, it is past the legal limit, becoming a entertaining piece.
That's true.
And some of the laws are very entertaining because you couldn't help laughing about them, right? Such as this.
Well, here now in Fresno, California, permanent markers cannot be sold anywhere within the city limits of Fresno. Now, Jack and I try to see what would the motivation have been, for someone to make
don't
this
know.
law. Well, the only thing I could come up with is maybe they think these permanent markers could be used for graffiti. However,
But
if you
permanent markers can be used for something good.
So absolutely something good, but also then, it doesn't say you can't bring permanent markers into the city from other cities. So it really can't accomplish anything. Maybe if a person have evil intent to use a marker inappropriately, they'll get it done. It might just be a little bit more inconvenient.
I don't think so. Even if somebody did use the permanent markers for graffiti,
Yeah.
you can't make a law to forbid the sales of it. For the convenience of the citizens of
Yeah.
Fresno, if they happen to need a permanent marker for something positive,
Sure.
either they have to buy elsewhere, or they have to steal, or they can rob somebody else.
Oh, they can do a lot, but it's
right?
just real silly to have something like
It doesn't
that.
mean, okay, if somebody is choked by an egg while eating an egg,
Yeah.
do you make a law say it is illegal to eat
Sell
an
eggs.
egg
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
or sell eggs
Right, yeah.
because somebody dies of it?
Well, see, when they passed this law, there's stores in town like Osh or whatever that would have to go through and say, okay, do we have permanent markers? We can't sell them anymore. And you take it out of inventory. It's crazy.
Did they get a chance to hear how the constituents,
Good question.
the voters, feed back with such a laws
Well,
at the creation of the laws?
I'll say this, and you might disagree with this, is that quite often city councils or those that put the laws on for cities love the power they have to create laws and really don't also remember they work for the citizens, just like our national government does sometimes. They forget. They get attracted to power.
That's true. That's exactly true.
Yeah.
I am really
That's quite
talking
sad.
about it because
Yeah.
at the very beginning we say we want to go back behind the laws to exactly to the moment when they tried to create the laws.
Right.
What kind of a mindset
Yeah.
that they are in?
Yeah.
What makes them? What was the motivation for them to create the laws? That was the thing
Yeah.
that we want to find out. My dear audience, we have something better.
Yeah, now here's a
Go
real
ahead.
good one. We have a beautiful city called Arcadia, California, and there's the Arboretum in Arcadia that has many, many peacocks in it, and they can run all around the city. They
Yeah.
move around the city. So peacocks have the right of way when crossing the street, including your driveway in Arcadia. Nobody wants to back over a peacock. It's happened, I'm sure.
All right.
And they're beautiful birds. When they open up their feathers, they're just beyond gorgeousness.
That's the one that makes lots of sense. I support that.
I support it. It does make sense. And of course, then a lot of people that just are driving through the city, they don't have any idea that's a law in that city.
Exactly.
So, but still, if you run over a peacock, you're gonna have a fine.
Now you can see, right? We are reasonable people. Well, the fact that we are reasonable, it stays in the fact that when something is good, we really want to say it's good.
Yeah, right.
When something is bad, we say it's bad.
Right.
Right.
There's a foundation.
If you compare the peacock laws with the permanent marker laws.
Right.
So
Comes from different mentals.
It could tell.
Yeah.
This is 180 degrees from going each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So,
you're right.
What's your name?
Here's a beautiful one.
Yeah.
Now this is really good because I used to have a beard for 20 years, okay? And I trimmed it all nice. But in Eureka, California, it is against the law for a man with a mustache to kiss a woman. So I don't know, they must have a very low birth rate or something in Eureka.
I don't know. Well,
I mean, they have that. It's right.
in Eureka, California?
Yeah.
What if they are a married couple?
That's the
The
law.
definition of a man-woman includes husband and wife.
Correct, it does.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Right. You can't say they are husband and wife, so they are excluded because when in the parameter of the law.
No, right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
The statute is right there. You can't kiss a woman when you have a beard.
a mustache.
Mustache.
Yeah, right.
Something like that.
Yeah. But I don't know what the old days are, but it might have been put in a long time ago for some reason. And then I think very few governments or city governments or national governments go through and so let's review the laws we have and let's get rid of ones that make no sense anymore. That and people just governments are too lazy to reduce their own their own laws. Even though they're really not appropriate anymore.
This thing, all right, for the permanent marker laws, right? For the bowling on the walkway laws, you can always figure out. Once upon a time, there was somebody bowling on walkway.
Sure.
Once upon
had
a time,
to be a reason.
Somebody used a permanent marker to write it on a wall, especially when it's a white wall. Use a permanent marker, right? So that probably will probably give you some ground of understanding. Oh yeah, good, excusable, right? This thing for a man with a mustache,
it's very popular nowadays, of course.
To kiss a woman, and they don't even say on the street.
No. Period. Yeah.
Period.
It's insane.
Right?
Yeah.
So in their home, their own privacy, or in a room whatsoever with a roof, with a wall whatsoever, and they did not even give a definition between what kind of man and what kind of woman, right?
Right. Yeah. Right. That's true.
Well, crazy.
It was crazy.
Crazy enough.
Now this is it because in the beaches in Los Angeles, okay, you are not allowed to throw a frisbee, which are those things that fly in the air. They're like
the dish.
Yeah, dish.
Plate,
without getting the approval of a lifeguard.
The flying dish.
Yeah.
What they call, right?
Now, of course, like I've been hit in the head with somebody else's frisbee flying around, okay? Those things happen, but nobody gets really hurt by it. But you have to get supposedly the approval of a lifeguard to play with your frisbee. Yeah. Well, whatever.
That makes sense.
Well,
Californians are fragile.
Well, it might take you an hour to find a lifeguard too. And so I'd say go ahead and play. Okay?
All right. Or go ahead and not play.
Yeah, or go ahead and not play.
Not play. Well, that makes little sense or something.
Now, here's one that makes no sense, okay? In Hollywood, it's illegal to drive more than 2,000 sheep down Hollywood Boulevard at once. Now, 2,000 is a lot of sheep. That would fill the street up, okay? And I don't know where that came from the movie days or something or other, but it's illegal to drive more than 2,000 sheep down Hollywood Boulevard at once. Now, we've got look, I know what a sheep looks like. On Hollywood Boulevard, you got a lot of people that look a lot worse than a sheep. It's a very freaky boulevard, okay?
What if you drive
it's freaky.
1,999 sheep?
Then you better keep count, yes. And not drop a baby.
So I'm not.
No more baby sheeps.
I'm not going exceed the 2,000.
Right.
Well, That is really something that
It's
once
like-
again we need to go. No. We need
Yeah.
to go find out at what time. Do we know what time or when was this law created?
Well, I didn't go to the research of origination on these. I went into Google, give me lists, and there's tons of lists of irrational, foolish laws in all over the country. But we live in California, we're focused on that. But it's like unbelievable.
This is totally irrational because you're talking about. Okay, now I got one for Florida.
Yes, sir.
In Tampa, Florida, it is illegal to park an elephant on the street,
Yeah, I believe that.
right?
Yeah.
So who is gonna nowadays?
Yeah.
Who is gonna ride an elephant? Number one question.
Right.
Right.
It's not
And
Bangkok.
How do you ever park an elephant?
Well, yeah. How do you know if it's standing there or it's parked? The motor's not running.
An elephant, you can't park an elephant because an
Yeah.
elephant can pull out a electrical pole
Anytime he wants. Yeah.
anytime he wants,
Yeah.
right? So those are the crazy laws that probably led to some historical event. Somebody did park an elephant and it caused some accident, right? This thing probably the same thing that once upon a time, 1,000 years ago, whatsoever, somebody did drive a herds of 2,000 sheep
Perhaps.
on the boulevard.
on
right?
Hollywood. Maybe for a movie. Who knows?
Right. Okay, now, again, it goes back to your point. Why would the city council members,
Why?
sit together sometime? Hey, guys, let's go over, let's cancel some laws.
Spend their. Yeah, right. I wish they would. They should have.
Remember, first month or second month when Donald Trump took office, he made a requirement that if you create a laws, you have to cancel 5 or something
For regulations, yeah.
for regulations or whatsoever.
And now
right?
he said that to have a new regulation, you got to get rid of 2 regulations. But he now has really, for a new regulation, he's gotten rid of 20, a 20-to-1 ratio, which is good. See, these regulations, Jack, this is kind of off the subject, but very pertinent though. They're just to create the power base for government, to have more joy out of their own power and expressing their power over other people's lives.
Of course, of course.
So in many of and particularly like in the area of what's available to fight disease.
Yeah,
okay?
government has the power, right? But the point is that why can't we use the government power to get rid of those irrational laws?
Because they don't want to waste their time. And it's not a waste of time.
Senseless laws.
Right.
But it wastes the time also to create laws like that.
Right.
To create no
Good point.
permanent marker laws. Does it
point.
cost time?
Right, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
To create a no boating on walkway laws.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah,
So-
right. Oh yeah.
Then it costs time too.
Yeah.
Why don't they use the same time wasted or squandered on making those crazy laws to get rid of some of the crazy laws? It is really down to one point. Where are you pushing?
Well, then I think it really boils down to that they're more interested in exercising the power they have than they are in diminishing the power
Regarding
that they've
what
had.
they do.
I agree. Yeah.
All right, good.
Totally. Now
Let's take a short moment out. We come back for more, my dear friends. The fun goes on. Hello, my dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show, Jack Chow on the East West Show with GNE TV. Today, with my good friend Ken Hamming, we're having a wonderful moment sharing with you with the hilarious laws of California that, well, of course, you're laughing all the time, I know. And the fun, like I said, goes on and on and on. What's your next, please?
Well, this is pretty cool. In California, it's illegal for animals to mate within 1,500 feet of a school or a place of worship.
All right.
Now, number one, who comes up with 1,500 feet, okay? And two, who can tell an animal not to kiss each other? I mean, it's pretty hard to tell an animal, you know?
But when it is illegal, though, who you punish? The animal or who?
Very good, yeah. Well,
Who?
maybe if two people are walking their dogs, one's a boy, one's a girl, and they like each other, then maybe you get a fine to the people.
The owner.
Yeah.
The owner of the animal.
Perhaps, yeah.
You know, Cam, that I find myself in support with.
Uh-huh.
All right. I tell you my own life experiences.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
That's
When we were young, we were, in my case, exiled by Mao Zedong to the remote area called the Jiqing movement.
Yeah.
Right? About 27 million of us were kind of like at one whip of the moment,
yeah.
driven to the countryside, far remote areas to live or die on our own, by our own.
Right. Makes me very sad.
That year, I was 17.
Yeah.
Right now, I remember exactly a specific moment when a bunch of us, kids, right, first saw horse mating.
Right.
It was such a moment. I found my virgin mind. Not the actual virginity. I'm talking about my virgin mind.
Yeah, your pure mind.
Destroyed, ruined for the rest of my life.
I've been always uncomfortable
moment.
when I've seen animals hugging each other. I'm always uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Oh, I don't
that
want to.
I find myself in support with.
Yeah.
I will go for it.
It's pretty wild.
Next, please.
No, here's a great one. Actually, this is so ridiculous, it's hard even to say. In Fresno, it's against the law to annoy a lizard in a city park. Now, this all kind of goes down to, the animal rights people and that, where we're on their planet. They were here, a lot of them before us, okay? So, I mean, you're not, nobody really wants to annoy things, but still, to have a law that you can't, shoo away or harass a lizard in a city park is.
That I agree.
I'm speechless.
I agree. That goes to the same ground.
Yeah.
Like the peacock law in Arcadia.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
It's
right.
for animal protection.
Yeah.
For other species respect or whatsoever.
Now,
right?
of course,
especially those outnumbered.
Yeah.
Those being outnumbered. Right. Okay.
That's a good point.
Right. Good. All right. So to not annoy them, not tease them, right? So that makes some sense.
Yeah. And of course, there's a lot of other animals in a city park too. So why didn't they say
all
animals?
Or the least, if you do, you get hurt.
Yeah.
Lizard does bite.
They can, sure.
Yeah.
They eat something.
Yeah,
it could be your finger.
Right, sure, it could be your finger, right?
Now,
okay.
Here's something.
What else you have?
This is so crazy. In Blythe, which is a nice, very hot city in California, you are not allowed to wear cowboy boots unless you own at least 2 cows. Now, that's pretty freaky. I guess one for each boot. I don't know what I'm.
That I don't understand because I have cowboy boots all the time.
I love cowboy boots.
Right. I have 2 beautiful pairs.
Very comfortable.
One black, one gold.
Yeah.
So I love them.
Yeah.
So if I'm in that city, it is illegal.
Yeah.
Why? Once again, why? Why? Number one, why not? Number 2, why cows? Number 3, why exactly 2 cows?
Well, Jack, what's interesting is the word why is always a good question, and often there is no answer for that question. There is no why. It just happens, comes out of somewhere. And so that's because why is a really very, very, we ask each other why all the time when we're doing shows and that. And yet and we normally have an answer for the whys. But a lot of times you hit the right question, there's no answer.
Yeah. Of course, I remember both of my sons have the habit of asking why. Yeah. And I was so tired of that. Why many whys?
Yeah, right.
But this is it.
Right.
There's no why.
Yeah.
Why that many whys?
Yeah.
But that did not satisfy them because they believed there got to be a why.
Yeah.
Right? There got to be a why. But this thing, we're not asking a why by playing child. Right?
Right.
We're asking why because we want to think rationally.
Yeah.
We want to think rationally,
Yeah.
right? If you do rationally, though, why people cannot wear cowboy boots? Because they're good.
Well, maybe they didn't want citizens that are not farmers to wear cowboy boots, which is crazy.
Well,
okay.
who does it hurt?
It's a fashion
Who
statement.
does it hurt when people wear cowboy boots?
Well,
They kick each other?
They have pretty strong points on them. Yeah, they could hurt. But yes, it
I've
hurts
been wearing,
nobody.
I've been wearing that all my life. I've never kicked anyone.
Right, I know that. Right.
Right.
No one's kicked you, I hope.
And then why do I have to have cows?
There's no reason.
And why do I have to have at least 2 cows?
There's no reason. Now, you want another cool one? You want something good? I'm not
Crazy.
because
Crazy.
some of this, all of the whole thing didn't come out, but in Chico, okay, it is detonating a nuclear device within the city limits will result in a $500 fine.
Designated a nuclear device?
Detonating a nuclear device within the city limit will result in a $500 fine
have a nuclear
and everybody
device?
dead.
Do you have a nuclear device?
I don't have any device.
If somebody,
I'm blushing right now.
if somebody has a nuclear device,
it's crazy.
the guy must be rich,
You're right.
all right?
And dangerous.
Right?
But-
And Kim Jong Un
Oh.
been trying for almost
To get a
generation
nuclear.
after generation,
Right, yeah.
to get a nuclear device,
Yeah.
right? And it caused them to be so poor, the whole country, Korea, to be so poor, the very costly thing, and yet they will be afraid of a 500 of a fine.
See, and here's something real interesting. Can I tell you this other one? It's very interesting.
No, I'm not
Okay.
done with that.
Yeah, okay.
I am talking about.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
still
just
thinking.
totally-
I'm still
yeah.
thinking. Number one, probably you and I had the wrong impression of a nuclear device. Probably there
We're
are
pretty
other.
smart.
The definition of nuclear devices could mean something else. Something in my pocket.
It could, whatever nuclear can be, the word nuclear can be applied to. It could be possibly correct what you're saying.
I don't have nothing nuclear on me.
No,
My lighter,
no,
that's a gas lighter. That's it. That's not a nuclear.
it's not nuclear.
And for designating, for ignite,
Detonating, yeah, right.
for ignite though,
Yeah.
there's nothing I can think of that I can ignite that has nuclear properties or quality in it.
Yeah. Well,
In a city,
other than it's in
in which city
a
is
malicious
Chico?
way.
In which city
yeah.
is Chico?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Pretty interesting. Now here's a great one. This is a law that probably was made before what I'll tell you it could apply to right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it says that it is if there is a vehicle without a driver, it is not allowed to go more than 60 miles an hour. Now, see, now that we have driverless vehicles with some of these things, this could make sense. But I'm sure this wasn't created when we had these driverless vehicles, which have killed some people already. I'll never sit in a driverless car, okay, that you rely on technology. I couldn't do it.
This law was created before before driverless cars
Yeah,
became known.
yeah, right.
Am I?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes.
Now you're talking about there are driverless cars,
Yeah.
not everywhere, but there are some, right?
There are some.
So it's time to cancel that law, not resume that law. Am I
No,
right?
maybe it's time to enforce it because if it's a driverless car, which does exist, it probably shouldn't be going more than 60 miles an hour. So it's kind of all interesting, but it's all silly. It's
But driverless cars going 60 miles an hour, that's what they designed for.
well
That's what
well
they designed for.
I don't think it's specifically designed for speed, but it's designed for transportation purposes. But it's now here's a good one too.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see, 40 persons waiting to all
What is
persons wanting to keep a rhinoceros in their home around their property must obtain a $100 license to own a rhinoceros.
I didn't get it.
That's
What is
like
that?
okay.
What
A
is that?
rhinoceros is a huge animal. Yeah, you have to have a license, which costs $100 if you want to own a rhinoceros. Now we do have dog licenses, which some people ignore, but many people have, and that costs something too. But I don't think there's very many rhinoceros pets in the United States. So
Or
it's
little,
just
or
yeah.
could be a leopard.
Could be anything.
Could be a lion,
It's just
right?
crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, here's a good one. Okay.
All right, what
this
is
is
that?
important for all you men out there. Okay. That it is illegal for a man to beat his wife with a strap wider than 2 inches without her permission. Holy cow. Holy cow. I'm not making this up. Okay. It is illegal for a man to beat his wife with the strap wider than 2 inches without getting her permission.
Oh, if the wife says yes, go ahead.
Oh,
beat
that's
me,
okay then, yeah.
That's okay.
I guess, yeah.
Right.
Is that crazy?
Well, but could be those submersive couples.
Yeah, right. Could
Yeah,
be. Could a little.
they like that.
A little kinky.
They do it for their own play.
Right.
For sex play whatsoever.
Whatever
right?
play, yeah.
Right. They prefer to do that. But point is that okay, it is all dependent. Hold on. It all depends on the wife. Is the wife does or does not agree, right? If
Yes.
wife does, why does anything make sense to if it's 2 inch or
Well,
1.9 inches?
Makes a bigger welt on her body, I guess. But also, it's sort of saying it's okay to beat your wife with the strap if it's less than 2 inches, which is, of course, insanity.
It is legal or not. Is it legal or not? Why does the width make sense?
Well,
Make it
probably just for
different?
the damage that can be done. It will touch more of her body than a thin one. But it's just really.
But you can use a wider one, hit lighter. You can
Oh, yeah, you
use
can
a
do it-
narrower
you
one.
can do it all
hit
kinds of
hotter.
things, right.
No, it doesn't make sense at all. What else?
Here's
do
a
you have?
nice one. Okay, it is in a certain city. It's illegal to spit within 5 feet of some other person.
To spit.
To spit on the ground within 5 feet of somebody
All right,
else.
that makes sense.
Yeah, unless you want your shoe shined, and spit on my shoe and then wipe it off. Okay.
All right, that makes
but,
sense.
But
That makes some
it is
sense,
pretty.
yes.
It is pretty cool. Let's see. Oh, what's this restroom? Okay. One may not use one's own restroom. Oh, one may not use one's own restroom if the window is open. Holy cow. Okay, you're not.
I don't get it. I don't
okay,
get it.
say you're in a house and you got a bathroom and it's got a window. You are not supposed to, in this city, you're not supposed to use your own toilet, your own bathroom, if the window's open. So
regardless of high window or low window,
right.
Well, where the window is.
Maybe it's to restrict noise or whatever, but anyway, it's silly as heck. Okay.
Okay. Anyway,
These things are phenomenal.
but that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, I believe we have enough
there's
on the hilarious
yeah,
ones.
we
Let's
do.
take a short moment out, and we come back for more. However, this time when we come back, we want to go more towards the those areas that make some more sense, rather than you just laugh about.
Yeah,
Right,
that are
so-
insensical.
My dear friends, we will be back right away. Hello, dear friends, loved audience, welcome back. This is a very relaxing moment
Yeah.
because we entertain ourselves by playing with some of the interesting or hilarious Californian laws. Some of the laws went beyond the limit of rational thinking. Well, they go way down south. That doesn't even make some common sense at all. So with me, my friend Ken Hemming, we're having lots of good time. What else? We have room for one more.
Here's a very interesting one, Jack. Very interesting, and you're going to react to it. In California, you know, they have hate laws, okay, where you call it hate crimes, and you get a little bit more punishment if you perform a hate crime. But in California, it is impossible to have a hate crime legally perpetrated against a white male straight person. okay, a white straight male, you can do anything to, and it will never be designated a hate crime. There can be a hate crime against a female, of course, against whatever, all kind. Because the whole law never brings
Does
in.
that mean a white male straight?
Yeah.
White straight male is never hated?
No, it can be hated all the time, but it will never be designated a hate crime if the crime is perpetrated against a white straight male. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
I don't. Logically,
It's the truth.
logically, it doesn't come on my radar
There is no logic.
because hate can happen to anybody.
Well, of course. So
Right?
it makes no sense at all. Like, I mean, it's just
I
actually.
can be hated just for the way I look.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Right? You can be hated just by the way you talk.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
And you white or black,
Yeah,
straight or
right.
whatsoever.
But the law does not incorporate a white straight male as potentially a victim of a hate crime, which is absolute insanity.
I don't understand California anymore.
I don't either.
Right? So
I don't either. Let's
well,
move.
Let's move on to some bigger areas that
Yes, sir.
we are even more lost, right?
Yeah.
Back about 4 years ago, there came the AB 109 laws,
Okay.
right? That's called the jail alignment
Okay.
laws, right? Because California being sued by whoever at the Supreme Court of the United States that our jail population was by 13% over.
Okay.
And for
Overcrowded.
That, overcrowded. For that, we have to realign our jails, right? And for that, instead of building more jailhouses,
Right.
right? Instead of reusing the available money, which is squandered elsewhere, such as to the bullet train or whatsoever.
Hallelujah. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
You're
right?
good, Jack.
Okay, good.
You're smart.
Build more prisoners
Yeah.
to hold the perpetrators from attacking us anymore
Yes, sir.
any further. California made a law to let the prisoners go.
Yeah.
And our beloved Governor Jim Brown signed that into law. So all of a sudden, we start to see more than 20,000 of convicted criminals.
yeah.
Some of them, quite a few of them, quite a majority of them, are felon
Oh, they're
On
felons
the
if they're in
streets.
prison. They're felons.
on the streets.
Yeah.
So that, well, our community safety, public safety is at stake, and lots of people get into becoming victims,
Yes.
such as
From early release.
such as Officer Keith Boyer
Yes, sir.
of Wheater
Yes.
was killed by one of them.
Absolutely.
Now,
Happens too
and
often.
that's not the end of it, right? To go one step further, to make sure that those who are released does not ever have a chance to go back, though.
Yeah.
They made another law, which is Proposition 47,
Okay.
to raise the threshold of crime from a misdemeanor to a crime from $450
Okay.
to $950. You
Okay.
heard of that?
Yeah. They to try to have more misdemeanors than felonies. Yeah.
No. This whole thing is to prevent them from going back to jail.
Well,
You see my point?
right.
Right.
Yes.
For that purpose, they raise the elevator.
Well, and that's part of the three-strike law too, because then if it was 450 and you stole 500 or something, then that would be one of your three strikes. Yeah.
All right.
You're
good.
right. It's part of
You
that.
say there's a flood outside, though.
Yeah.
Instead of curing the flood,
Yeah. Yeah.
we build our own threshold.
Right.
Right.
You're right.
So that is how smart they are. And
or
by
how
the way,
dumb they are.
And by the way, using taxpayers' money.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Correct.
Okay, now. And further, in order to, okay, now, there are still persistencies of those law breakings, right?
Oh, yeah.
In order to still prevent them going back to jails, they made the 3-strike laws.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You have to violate laws for 3 times before you can qualify to be arrested.
Well, no, before you can be sentenced to the rest of your life in
No,
prison.
I know.
Yeah.
I only use a different term.
Oh, okay, right.
I
okay.
only describe it in a different way.
Yeah, you did.
You have to qualify. You
Yeah.
have seniority
Yeah,
to talk about.
Yeah, you have to qualify. For
You have
that.
to qualify.
Right. Yeah.
You have to apply. You have to
evil.
qualify,
Yeah.
right? You have seniority to talk about.
Right.
Your seniority meaning that you have be a 3-time striker.
Which is a career criminal, you know. It's like,
Yeah. And then to still further secure them, never ever have a chance to go back to jail though, they make the flash incarceration laws. Which means they come arrest you to a moment when they really, when you really qualify.
yeah,
Oh,
right.
Mr. Ken Hamming is really a wonderful, excellent criminal.
Yeah, right.
We awarded you with an excellent criminal, though.
Yeah.
Right. Here's the award. We put the medal on you.
Yeah.
And then we flash it in the afternoon. You're out.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of what they call catch and release
Flash
things.
incarceration.
Yeah.
Professionally, they call
Yeah.
flash.
So you're in and out in a flash.
You're in and out
Right.
in a flash.
Yeah, that's the catch and release thing.
That's
it's really
Proposition
sad.
57.
And we have a lot of dead Americans. We have a lot of dead people. We have a lot of victims as a result of these loose laws for punishing and restricting a criminal.
Judging from these laws, right? We can probably come to a conclusion.
Okay.
Our lawmakers either are jokers.
They're out of focus.
They are out of focus. They are not only out of focus. They are jokers.
Yeah.
Like in a circuit, right?
Right.
They're the jokers
Yeah,
with a
right.
big nose or
Right.
something like that.
Right.
They are number one, either jokers, or they are criminal assistants. They are assisting criminals.
Yeah. No, they are. They're facilitating criminal activity.
Yes. If
That's
they
right.
are not assisting criminals,
Yeah.
why would they, number one, release them lawfully, legally out on the street? If
Well-
they are not assisting criminals, why would they make the threshold? Okay, I heard a report, there was a new finding yesterday. The championship of the most qualified criminals
Okay.
was won by a guy, wonderful guy,
This is interesting.
wonderful human being or animal being, whoever,
Yeah.
who took a calculator himself, going to shoplifting, right, control himself exactly under $950.
Oh, okay. See, now that's a very
accident-
good point.
Accidentally,
Now that's funny.
accidentally, this guy sometimes were
Yeah.
loose on his own track,
Right.
though, went over 950.
This is very
so
interesting.
crimes were committed, right?
Yeah.
You know how many times had he been overboard of 950?
I don't.
Ever since the law?
Yeah.
This model,
Yeah.
this man of the year or man of the state,
Yeah.
right? 43 times went over. Finally, thank God, he qualified.
Yeah. Wow.
He went back to jail.
Well, but this is a really good display that criminals don't have to be stupid. There's a lot of very smart criminals.
I'm not
particularly
faking
in
it.
white
I'm
collar
not faking
crime.
it.
Right.
You check the record of AM 640,
Well, yes.
right? And it was reported yesterday, exactly yesterday.
Yeah.
This guy, 43 times broke the record of 900, the new threshold
of 950.
950
Yeah.
to finally qualify being glorified criminal.
You know, Jack, you're a very, very bright man.
Check
I
my
believe-
point. Check
Oh,
my
I will.
point, my dear friend.
But- yeah.
The glorified criminal.
You know, see, you're a very smart gentleman, and if you had sort of an evil soul, your brain would allow you to do some criminal activities, like conning older people, or you know, somebody. There's a lot of evil can be done with a bright person with a bad soul, and that's a real
And
part
those
of reality.
are, I mean, I told you that was the outstanding model.
Yeah, right.
Was the most glorified hero of amongst all the so-so average criminals.
Average criminals, yeah.
Right? He was so outstanding. He most time got away because he kept himself under 950.
Yeah.
Accidentally, there were 43 times he went over. He
Yeah.
finally qualified himself. My dear friend, my dear audiences, my
Wow.
dear fellow Californians, this is how crazy Californian laws are.
California is a crazy state. It really is.
I want to cry, baby.
I don't blame you. Take me
I
with.
feel so bad. You want to cry together with me?
You know, it's California is a joke.
This is the beautiful state we pay tax for. And this is the beautiful state I came here for.
We have good weather
This is the beautiful state we call home.
and bad government. We have good weather and poor government.
Oh man, we make laws like that? If you say the no marker law, no permanent marker
Yeah,
laws
yeah.
is a joke.
Yeah.
Somebody made the law when they were so
Probably had a
so
headache.
sleepy,
Yeah.
so sleepy, and the governor signed it when he was out of mind for that very moment.
Yeah.
Though we can all excuse them with a generous mind because our voters of California are so generous-minded. You can never excuse the creators of such laws, AB 109.
Yeah.
Proposition 47, Proposition 57, which are the ones that glorify criminals.
God bless.
Do you not agree with me?
I do agree with you. It's such a joy to agree
A
with
handshake.
you, Jack. Such
My
a
dear
joy.
friend, that concludes our show today, which went over time, but I would pay for it for the overtime.
Thank you so much.